You know, it's really kind of crazy to think about how much things have changed, like even just in the past few years with how we look for information online. I mean, it used to be you just go straight to Google for everything.
Oh,
Like,
totally. I mean, it's like Google was the internet for a long time,
yeah, exactly. And now it's like everyone's talking about how that's not really the case anymore. So today we're going to kind of dig into that whole shift and what it means for businesses,
especially for car dealerships, right?
especially for car dealerships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how are people finding out about cars these days if they're not just Googling best new SUV or
Yes.
whatever?
There's so many different ways now. It's a whole new landscape.
And speaking of landscapes, Google,
Right.
remember when they burst onto the scene? 1998. Two college students with this, like, crazy idea to organize the world's information.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about it like that now. Back then, it really was groundbreaking.
Totally. That clean, simple search bar, it just made sense, you know?
It was so refreshing compared to everything else out there at the time. And it actually worked. Like you could find what you were looking for.
Okay, so let's fast forward to today. We're talking billions upon billions of searches happening every single day, like over 45 billion. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, and if you look at the numbers, Google's still a big player, obviously.
Mm.
They're handling something like 8 billion searches a day.
That's a huge number.
It is, but it's only about 18% of the total.
So where are all those other searches happening?
That's the big question, right? And it really points to this shift away from relying solely on Google. Like take Instagram, for example. 6.5 billion searches every day.
Wow. And that makes sense when you think about it. People go to Instagram to see things. So if you're looking for inspiration for a new car or you want to see what the latest models look like.
Exactly. It's a visual search engine. And then you've got things like ChatGPT, a billion searches a day.
Mhm.
People want quick answers. They want to have a conversation.
Right. And Pinterest, over 2 billion searches a day. They're looking for ideas, they're looking for inspiration. It's a different mindset than just going to Google and typing in a keyword.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's Amazon with 3.5 billion searches a day.
That's a whole other beast, right?
Oh, totally. People go to Amazon to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Like they've already made up their minds. They just need to find the right product.
So we've got all these different platforms, all these different ways of searching. What's driving this whole diversification? Why aren't we all just sticking with Google?
Well, I think there are a few key factors at play here. First off, user behavior has changed. People just aren't all looking for the same thing anymore. Some people like that visual experience they get on Instagram or Pinterest. Others want those instant answers from ChatGPT.
And some people are totally comfortable just talking to their devices now. Hey, Alexa, find me a good electric car.
Exactly. Voice search is becoming huge, especially for younger generations. So you've got this whole spectrum of user preferences now.
And it feels like maybe Google hasn't been as quick to adapt to those changing preferences as some of the other platforms.
Yeah, I mean, the other platforms are really focused on those specific needs. Like Instagram gives you that immediate visual hit. ChatGPT gives you that conversational direct answer. Amazon gives you product information, pricing reviews,
All in one place.
all in one place. And Google's trying to do all of those things, but they're not necessarily the best at any one of them.
Right. It's like they're trying to be everything to everyone.
Exactly. And then the other piece of this is the whole advertising thing.
Yeah, Google's business model is built on ads.
Right, and that means that those ads are going to be front and center in the search results, which can be frustrating if you're just trying to find information.
It can feel kind of cluttered sometimes.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why people are turning to ad-free alternatives like ChatGPT. They just want the information without all the noise.
Okay, so it's not that Google's going away, it's still massive, but the whole game has changed. So how do businesses need to adapt? What's this search everywhere optimization all about?
So it's basically the idea that you can't just focus on ranking high on Google anymore. You need to be visible everywhere your potential customers are searching.
Everywhere. So not just Google, not just Amazon, not just Instagram.
Right. It's about thinking holistically.
So what are some of the key strategies for businesses trying to do this?
Well, first off, you got to build a strong brand,
Makes sense.
a recognizable brand that people trust. And then you need to focus on engagement. When people are interacting with your website and your content, it shows those platforms that you're providing value.
Engagement is key.
Absolutely. And then you want to encourage brand mentions. Like when people talk about your company or your products online, without you even prompting them, those are like gold.
Those are like little votes of confidence.
Exactly. And then, of course, reviews. Good reviews, 4.5 stars or higher. People rely on those reviews to make decisions.
Okay, so let's get specific. How does all of this play out in the car industry? How are car dealerships going to need to adapt?
So think about how people buy cars now. They might start by browsing Instagram or TikTok, looking at different models, checking out features.
Seeing what other people are saying about their cars.
Right. Then they might jump over to ChatGPT and ask some very specific questions like, what's the fuel economy on the new Honda Civic? Or what are some common problems with the Toyota Camry?
And those online car forums are still huge too,
Oh,
right?
yeah. People go there to get real-world insights from other car owners. Like, is this car reliable? What are the maintenance costs like?
So it's not just about having a website anymore.
No way. Car dealerships need to be everywhere. They need to be creating visually appealing content for Instagram and TikTok. They need to be optimizing their website content to answer those ChatGPT-style questions. They need to be actively managing their online reviews.
So it's really about meeting the customer where they are.
100%. And the dealerships that are going to thrive are the ones that embrace this new reality. Experts like Sean Ryder, Digital Seat, they've been talking about this for a while now.
So the digital landscape is changing, search is changing, and businesses, especially car dealerships, need to change with it.
Absolutely. It's all about adapting and evolving.
So to sum it all up, the days of just focusing on Google are over. We're in a search everywhere world now.
And that means building a strong brand, focusing on engagement, getting those brand mentions, and racking up those positive reviews.
So here's a final thought for you all. Given this whole fragmentation of search, how can car dealerships really innovate? How can they connect with customers in new and meaningful ways in 2025 and beyond? It's something to think about for sure.